Bacchus Cellar Systems has created the premier wine cellar environmental control system in the world. Years ago, we were searching for a system that would provide accurate control of temperature, but also humidity in the cellar. The founder and his other wine-collecting friends had cooling systems, but needed to use primitive means, such as buckets of water and sponges to help increase humidity levels. The founder knew if he wanted to preserve his wines for decades to come, it couldn't happen with the dried-out cork. The corks got dry and brittle, it would lead to premature aging in the wine, and the wine would eventually turn to vinegar. This is why we created Bacchus, a system that humidifies through its patented misting technology, holding the room between 50 and 75% relative humidity and 50 to 60 degrees Fahrenheit. Here's a quick rundown on our simple installation.
We begin our BCS 1000 condensing unit installation on a wet day. The outdoor unit, shown here, is sitting on an OE100 custom outdoor cover base, and both rest on the outdoor pad, which you need to supply. We also supply indoor condensing units. First, we secure the condensing unit to the pad with self-tap-in screws. The unit comes with a low pressure control. Check that it's set at 25 pounds with a 15-pound differential. The solenoid closes in the evaporator when temperature set point is achieved, and the low pressure control shuts off the compressor. The fan cycling switch shuts off the fan during low ambient conditions. Service valves, filter dryer, and sight glasses are all standard features. Steve, our expert installer, is preparing the suction and liquid lines for brazing to the condensing unit. He uses a wet rag to protect the service valve when brazing. Now that both lines are brazed in, Steve attaches his CPS manifold and vacuum pump. He pulls a 50-micron vacuum on the system to remove any unwanted water vapor and to also test for any system leaks. He then pulls out his digital scale and places a jug of 134A refrigerant on it. He zeroes it out and then charges the system with enough refrigerant to overcome the low pressure setting on the pressure controller. Then, with the system powered up, he continues charging until the sight glass goes clear. The total charge will be the receiver capacity plus 3 to 4 ounces. So in a BCS 1000, the total charge will approximate 2 pounds or 4 to 5 ounces of 134A. Here the crankcase heater leads are run to the electrical box and hardwired in. Now that our system is up and running, we place the OE100 custom enclosure cover back on its base. We replace the screws. We join Steve of Commercial Specialists here installing a BCS 1000 evaporator in a 700 square foot wine cellar. As you can see, the evaporator has already been attached to the ceiling joists using the BCS template. The liquid and suction lines have been pulled through the 3-inch ceiling opening. Here's our condensate pump. All Bacchus systems have a preset expansion valve as the metering device. In preparation for brazing, the TXV bulb should be temporarily removed. Here we point to our humidification nozzle. The tip can be manually unscrewed and cleaned each year as part of our recommended maintenance. This shows the water solenoid opening and the mist exiting the custom nozzle as it would when there's a call for humidity. This is our refrigerant solenoid, which closes when temperature set point is reached. We attach a 1/4 inch copper water line that was earlier fed through the 3-inch ceiling opening using the solenoid's compression fitting. These are the safety flows. The lower float here shuts the water solenoid if the pump can't keep up with humidification mode. This float takes everything offline in the event of pump failure. We also would recommend an independent water alarm for maximum safety. This UL-rated enclosure contains the control board and should remain sealed. Finally, we connect the 1/4 inch condensate line to the pump outlet and secure the plastic tube with clamp. Now that the lines are brazed in, the 14-2 has been connected to the power box in the ceiling. We move on to the control wiring. As found on page 5 of the installation instructions, the red and white wires from the 18.6 are connected to the humidity sensor. Attach red to number 1 post and white to number 2. These are polarity sensitive, so check this twice. Here you see our temperature sensor above and mounted humidity sensor below. This is the face of the VH620 keyboard already attached to a 4x4 plate that we cut out with a jigsaw. We show the yellow wire from the 18.6 to the number 1 port to the keyboard, and green to the number 2 port on the back. Here are the brown and blue wires that we attached to the temperature sensor. These are not polarity sensitive. We reattach the keyboard face and we're ready to power up. We replace the stainless steel cover of the evaporator and turn the unit on. Here you see our keyboard displaying the perfect temperature and humidity.
This cellar is ready to keep some of these wines for at least 25 years or more. If you are serious about storing your fine wine, look no further than Bacchus. We are simply the best.